peak to peak, 1,435 days. If we're measuring the same thing from our last peak, so that's projecting, yeah, sometime in 2025, right? End of 2025. It's actually not all the way to the end if you look at it. It's looking like it's probably October, November of 2026, maybe even before. But if that is looking accurate, that's looking like Bitcoin's going to end up being somewhere between 210,000 and 290,000. So probably around like 220, 240. That's what it's looking like. Who knows? It may happen, it may not. But again, we're just looking at what has happened before. And when it comes to Bitcoin or any kind of investment, history doesn't always repeat, but it tends to rhyme, especially with Bitcoin. And the reason why it tends to rhyme with Bitcoin is because we have this phenomenon called the 4-year cycle, and it's caused by the halving event, right? We have certainty with Bitcoin. We have the halving event, which decreases the inflation by half every 4 years. That means something. And we have a set supply. So unlike any other asset out there that can inflate forever with an unlimited supply, that's not the case with Bitcoin. Now, what else is good? I've been talking about China injecting liquidity. Okay, their tech is exploding right now because they just basically announced a lot of stimulus things that is also injecting stimulus. So their stock market just went up 8% yesterday, and it's just everything's going crazy. All their tech companies are going crazy, right? And it's having a trickle effect. Europe is going high because China's rallying and US is rallying and everyone's rallying. So this is like the perfect time, perfect storm when you have a lot of liquidity injections, okay, from all the major economies of the world. And that's why stocks are going to go up and crypto is going to follow as well. Okay, this all aligns with Uptober that we've been highlighting for some time now. But September is not bad. September is up right now, right? This is what I said at the beginning of September. Just because September is historically a bad month does not mean we have to end in red. In fact, in 2023, we were in green in September, right? This is why sometimes you guys have to have faith, okay? And you have to put two and two together. I told you guys for 4 years, we didn't have any rate cuts. And for the first time in 4 years, we're going to get one, and we got a drastic one, a 50 basis point right off the bat, right? That changes things. And now we got all these liquidity injections from around the world. It's all lining up. So October is looking like it's going to be absolutely fantastic, and we kind of started already. So we'll see. Well, buyers obviously are coming back. I showed you guys memes are exploding. That's probably due to all the retail degens coming back in. But institutions continue to pile on their ETF holdings. 366 million inflow yesterday. That is quite a large inflow. Quite a lot. I mean, if you go back 2 weeks, we only had 2 days of outflow. Every other day has been inflow. See, this is what people don't realize. Most retail investors just look at daily price, right? They're like, oh, Bitcoin's not moving. Bitcoin's stuck at 62,000. Oh, Bitcoin's stuck at 63,000. Oh, Bitcoin's stuck below 60,000, right? But what are these institutions? What are they doing? They don't care about that. They're like, oh, it's still cheap to buy, right? So while retail has been waiting, look at how much has been bought in the last 2 weeks. Since the beginning of September to now, I mean, only 2 days of outflow, but if you add all the inflow, that's like over $1 billion. That's over $1 billion right there, right? That's what the institutions, that's what the big money and smart money, what they're doing. They're buying all the ETFs, and guess what the ETFs are doing? Then they're buying all the Bitcoin. They're taking out a supply. So that's why the reserves on exchanges keeps on going down. The minor reserves keeps going down. I mean, it's coming out of somewhere. It's not like fiat where you could just print more anytime. Bitcoin, there's only a set amount, right? So this is what you have to pay attention to. The ETFs, they never existed in any previous cycles. This is a big deal. Just like before ETFs came out, I also said, just wait. When the ETFs come out, this is a big deal. A lot of people try to downplay it. Oh, ETFs not gonna affect the market. No, it will, because it soaked up like $30+ billion of the Bitcoin. It removed it from circulation. Don't tell me that it has no effect. It does, and it will continue to. Look at this. Arkham says BlackRock has bought more Bitcoin this week than any ETF has sold in the past 3 weeks. What does that mean? That means BlackRock is just buying, and people are buying BlackRock ETFs. That's it. A lot of buying, just buying, and more buying. That's really what it comes down to, right? Of course, with ETFs, there should be selling. When Bitcoin's price goes down, there should be outflows, right? But with BlackRock, there's really none. In 9 months, they have 2 days of outflow. Every other day has been inflow. That tells you something. That tells you Larry Fink is trying very hard to make sure that there is no outflow and only inflows, because he either believes in Bitcoin. He has been a big endorser of Bitcoin over the last few months, and or he wants to control Bitcoin by just buying up as much of the supply as he can, right? One of the two, or both. But nevertheless, hey, we're in it for the ride, right? What else is good? Let's look at some charts, some really good charts. Here's one. So you have this crossover on the 5-day. The last 2 times, I showed this recently. Last few times this happened, I think Bitcoin went up 70-something%. It happened in October, it went up like 78%. It happened in February, it went up like 74%. And this crossover has happened now. So are we going to go up 70% to end the year around $100,000, $110,000? Probably. If history is an indicator of what's to come, then yes, probably we will go up 70% from that crossover point. And that's why the breakout has begun, and we will probably end the year in 6-figure territory, right? That is not too far-fetched. I mean, a lot of people think, no, that's not coming. Just think about it. Our high was at 73,000, and we will get back there. We will be in the 70s in no time. And do you really think it takes all that much to go from, say, 75,000 to 100,000? Not really. No. Right? That's going to come as soon as FOMO hits, and it kind of started already, and there will be more. We will be above 100,000 in no time.